Hi, I'm Chase, and I work at the University of Utah. I'm here today on behalf of Quest, and we're going to play a little game called Questions with Quest. Oh, this is not steady. This foot thing is not steady.
I am Dr. Coco James.
I'm Isabella.
I'm Rick Batchelor.
I'm Paul Peterson.
This is Amanda. My name's Maya.
My name is Robert Johnson.
First up, what is Quest? Quest is a first-year, first experience, academic learning community. Classes, community, fun times, lots of learning. Quest. We love it. Do I have to apply? One should always apply oneself to any endeavor in your life. But in terms of Quest, the answer is no. It'll be fantastic. Why should I take a Quest course? Why not? No, for real, a first experience at the University of Utah, Quest is a premier program for both exploring students and students who think they have their major already selected. Find a community, find an incredible faculty member, find out some things about yourself that you never even thought to ask. Quest is for you. What makes Quest different from other gen ed classes? I'm happy to say that general education at the University of Utah is pretty incredible. Quest is part of that. But what makes it different? Well, Quest has an incredible group of faculty who I've come to know who really love being around students. It's not to say that others don't. But their main job is to make sure that students can find their path, get on that path, stay on that path, to graduate in less than 6 years, to find out what major really resonates and speaks to them. Quest. What is the Quest House? Well, by my estimate, it's an early 20th century build up on the former Fort Douglas that played once home to the Olympic Village, maybe, and probably a couple of rats here or there. But now, rat-free, Quest House is where folks who are in Quest and folks who were in Quest typically gather for fun times, parties, good things, meetings with faculty, meetings with other people, things organized on social media. Quest House. It's a good place. This has been Questions with Quest with me, your Vice Provost, Chase Haygood.
I'm Isabella, and I'm here representing the Office of Orientation, and this is Questions with Quest. Oh, this whole thing came off, so I might need 2 of those. Okay. Orientation. Do I have to go to an in-person orientation? Yes. So there are so many benefits to attending orientation in person. You will connect with other students, you'll experience what life is like on campus, and you'll learn about ways to get involved on campus. You'll also meet with representatives from your academic college. Students who've attended in-person orientation say that they had a smoother transition to college life, they felt more comfortable getting around campus, and they felt more prepared for the first day of classes. How and when do I register for classes? You will register for classes during your orientation session. Orientation leaders and other university staff will be there to help you at a university computer lab to register for all of your courses. What even happens at orientation? This is a good question. So besides meeting other incoming students and registering for your classes, you'll get to learn the campus layout and connect with university resources. Can my parents come with me to orientation? Yes, absolutely. So there is Utah-bound orientation for guests that run concurrently for all fall-admitted first-year students. This is where your parents and other family members can learn more about the student experiences, resources that are on campus, and how to support you as a student during your transition to college. This has been Questions with Quest. Thanks for tuning in. If you have more questions, you can visit us at orientation.utah.edu.
This is Amanda from Campus Advising Solutions, and welcome to Questions with Quest. I feel like some of those answers could have been better. Oh gosh. Will my college credits transfer? Yes. Most students come in with concurrent enrollment, AP, IB credit, etc., and they do transfer over. If you take a look at our equivalency guides on the admissions website, those will give you an idea of how they're going to transfer. Make sure you send those over as well before the first day of classes so that we can go over those with you in our first advising meeting. Let's see. Can I switch my major more than once? Short answer, yes. Many students choose to switch their major once, more than once, several times. Sometimes they'll add a double major, they'll choose to do a minor, but the short answer is yes. We recommend that you meet with your advisor so that you can make sure that you are declaring the program appropriately and that you are pursuing the right requirements, but yes, you are always welcome to change your major. We want you to do what's right for you. Do I need to meet with an advisor every semester? Yes. Our milestone advising program makes it sure that our students meet with an advisor every semester for their first 4 semesters. So your first semester, you're going to receive a milestone advising hold. That's your reminder to schedule that meeting with your advisor to go over course planning, those transfer credits that we talked about, and anything else you need to know to orient yourself to the U. What's the difference between a major and a minor? Difference between a major and a minor is number of credit hours. Our minors typically span between 12 to 21 credit hours, whereas our majors start at 30 credit hours and go up to 100 plus credit hours. So this is just how much time are you spending on your major, how many credits are you completing within a certain program. This has been Questions with Quest. If you have any other advising related questions, feel free to visit advising.utah.edu.
Hi, I am Dr. Coco James with the Quest program. We are here today for Questions with Quest, answering some questions from students for faculty. Okay, I don't love that I said teacher twice. Do you think anyone will care? Because I refer to myself at all times as a teacher, because I am a teacher. You know what I mean? Let's see what we've got. What happens if I miss a few classes? Okay, if you miss a few classes, some teachers will want to know that you're going to miss or that they want to talk to you after you have missed, and some professors won't. So look in your syllabus, see if there's any indication from your professor what their preference is. But here's the thing. On day 1 or day 2 of a class, get a friend in the class. Turn to someone sitting next to you and say, "Hi, my name is such and such. We should exchange information so that we can ask each other questions." And then the cool thing is if you miss a class, you can get notes from a peer and you won't fall behind on the material. What are office hours? Do I have to go? You don't really have to go, but you should go. You should totally go. So here's what we do as faculty during our office hours. We sit in our offices and we work and we do things and all of that. But we also sometimes wander out to the hallway and look up and down and be like, is anyone coming now? Because we really want to see our students. We want to know you. We want to help you through whatever struggles you're having or even just get to know who you are as a person. So go to your professor's office hours. It's a really good idea. You don't have to, although some professors may require it. So obviously check the syllabus, but it's a good idea to go. You want to get on their radar in a good way. That's a really good, important thing to do. So go see your professors during their office hours. How do I know if a class is going to be hard? Well, hard is a really subjective thing. On the faculty end, we pay very careful attention to what we're demanding of you because we have some specific ratios from the university that we need to kind of stay within. So the expectation of for every hour that you're in class, you spend 2 to 3 hours outside of class doing homework. We're very conscious of that. And we want to be careful not to ask too much of your time. But another thing that I used as an undergraduate student was rate my professors. So I would go and I would look at whoever I was thinking of taking a class from, and you can get a gist in the comments there about what kind of professor they are. It is a place where a lot of times students will go kind of just get mad about things and they say stuff, but you can usually tell. So be honest about what you're reading there, and you can get a really good idea about the difficulty of the class or the course material. You can also ask your professor because we like to be honest about that. Do I actually need to read the syllabus? Yes. Yes, you need to read the syllabus. Let me tell you what I have, because I want my students to comb through my syllabus, because it's so important. It's an agreement that we have between you and I. So I have a line in my syllabus that's buried in a paragraph somewhere that says, to get extra credit, send me a hand-drawn picture of a fancy raccoon. And so at the beginning of every semester, I get a handful, far fewer than I have students, but I get a handful of fancy raccoons, and they get an extra credit point on their syllabus quiz. You need to read the syllabus. Understanding the policies of your professor is really important, and we're all different. So everyone has their own policies, and we can do that. It's not a normed thing across campus, so you need to understand, does your teacher allow late work? Do they want you to contact them if you're going to miss a class? The big heavy-hitting policies are going to be in the syllabus, and you need to understand them for your own success. So yes, you need to read the syllabus, and you never know, you might be able to get extra credit for drawing a fancy raccoon. So thank you for tuning in. This has been Questions with Quest. A last bit of advice I have from faculty to students is go meet your professor. Go introduce yourself to them sometime in the first 2 weeks, sometimes before the drop date, because you really want to get on their radar in a good way, and you don't want the first time you have a personal conversation with the professor to be about a problem. So go meet them, say hello, tell them you're excited about the class, specifically what you're excited about, and that will get you on a good foot with your faculty here at the University of Utah in the Quest program.
My name's Maya, and I'm a student at the University of Utah, and this is Questions with Quest. Look on your Google Maps. This is what I want to do. Boom, there's a spot. Well, this one I said Fuens. Actually, unironically, I read it wrong. First question. What makes the U different from other schools? The University of Utah is really integrated in the city and other large companies, making more opportunities for internships and other career jobs in the future. We're also really close to 10 major ski resorts. Next question. Is it easy to get around Salt Lake without a car? Yes. Your U card actually acts as a pass for all UTA public transportation, so the tracks or buses. The buses come every 30 minutes and the tracks every 15. The main tracks line, the red line, goes all the way from downtown up to the U, and there's 4 different spots on campus. So if you're lazy like me, you don't want to walk far, there's a spot for you. Next question. How do people make friends? It's a great question. Well, actually, it is kind of scary when you go to college at first when you don't know anybody, but it's pretty easy. You just have to talk to people. We also have 600 plus different clubs and events, so there's something for everybody. What do people do off campus? Well, I mean, it's really up to you. You can do anything, but there's lots of things to do off campus. I like to go around and explore different museums or coffee shops, and there's also a lot of events like the Arts Festival or concerts. But if you're outdoorsy, you could go up to the mountains and ski, hike, snowboard, or even climb. This has been Questions with Quest. If you have any more questions, you can visit us at quest.utah.edu or DM us at U of U Quest. If I had some advice, it would be to just leave your dorm room. And even if you're shy, just pretend that you're not. Go talk to people. Live a little. Have a good freshman year. Bye!
Hi everyone, I'm Rick Batchelor. I'm with Learning Abroad, and this is Questions with Quest. Hold it up like this, or?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. That just completely came off. All right, our first question. Here we go. When is the best time to learn abroad? This is an excellent question. When we think about the best time to learn abroad here at the University of Utah, it depends on several factors. It could be your major, it could be other commitments you have here at the University of Utah. We want to make sure that it's flexible. We have program experiences that are 1 week, a semester, or even a year-long opportunity for you. So the really fantastic thing about the University of Utah is that we have opportunities to go abroad in your freshman year. So this is through our Global Quest program. This is a cohort experience for students that want to go abroad as early as their spring semester. Get this off. Oh no, oh no. What types of programs can I do? So there's a lot of different experiences here at the University of Utah that you can participate in. First being a study program, but you can also participate in a research opportunity or even an internship abroad. We have faculty-led programs, exchange programs, affiliate programs, and an opportunity at the UAsia campus. Here we go. Where can I learn abroad? This is a fantastic question. When we think about where I can learn abroad, we also think about what you can do. Those go hand in hand. You can go on over 500 different programs in over 50 different countries. So when we think about the pathways to going abroad, we want to make sure that they're accessible to students from a variety of majors, variety of interests and goals, but also thinking about the different commitments that you do have. So you might be thinking, can I go to a large global city like Barcelona or London or Tokyo? The answer is yes. For example, if you were interested in a research experience in Todos Santos, Mexico, we have a program for you. If you're interested in an internship program in Barcelona, we have a program for you. If you're interested in your traditional study abroad program in Tokyo and Waseda, we have that for you as well. All right, let's look at our next question. How much does learning abroad cost? This is a great question. When we think about learning abroad, oftentimes we hear that it's too expensive. And in some cases that's true, but we're here to tell you that at the University of Utah, we have affordable opportunities for you. We want to make sure that the programs we've been are accessible to our students. So we have programs that are actually less than the cost of attendance here at the U, some that are on par with the cost of attendance, and certainly there's some that are more. So there's a range of costs for your program. So know that when we build out programs, we're building out experiences that are accessible to all of our students. In addition to that, the University of Utah supports study abroad through funding opportunities. So we have $400,000 in scholarships each year that provide to students. We also connect students with the Office for Nationally Competitive Scholarships to make sure that they'd be able to apply for scholarships to be eligible for it on a national level. So know that there's a strong commitment to learning abroad opportunities from an institutional standpoint through our scholarships, but also through the way that we build our programs. So don't let cost deter you. All right, we have one final question, which might be a mystery question. Oh, sorry, that was the scholarships one. So we talked a little bit about scholarships through the University of Utah and through learning abroad. One of the questions you might have is, can the scholarships I receive or financial aid apply to one of my programs? We want to make sure that you're connected with the Office of Scholarships Financial Aid to talk about any financial aid that you receive, as well as scholarships you receive that can be applied to one of our programs. Well, this has been Questions with Quest. If you want to learn more about learning abroad, check us out at learningabroad.utah.edu. Schedule an appointment with one of our advisors. We'd be happy to talk to you about the different global experiences you can have while you're here at the University of Utah.
Hello there, U of U students. Welcome to the University of Utah. My name is Robert Johnson. They call me Rojo. I currently work in the U Career Success Office and currently want to help y'all with some of the Quest questions that comes up. Quest questions. I know it kind of rhymes, but we're going to try to make it work, all right? So I can get super loud, but I think this level, I think this is good. Yeah, I'm pretty laid back. Yeah. Let's see what it says and have some fun with it. All right, when should I start thinking about my career? As a career coach here at the University of Utah, I feel like you should at least start your career as soon as you get here. As soon as you start picking your classes, that's when you should start thinking about where you want to go with your career, because most of the time your major will blend in with exactly what your career will be, or you could be similar to me. I have my sociology degree and my criminology degree, and I'm currently a career coach because I found my passion. So the goal is to find your passion, all right, you students? Next question. All right, what can I do right now to build my resume? The best thing I would give all my students when it comes to building your resume is to join some clubs. On top of joining clubs, try to figure out people that might have the exact same major as you, and you can kind of bounce ideas off of. It's a lot of times, a lot of us students are from different states, and sometimes you feel a little bit alone. Just know that when you join the Quest, it always helps you because you'll meet a lot of different people. So to me, right there, you gotta at least just meet the right people and join the clubs. All right, next question. All right, my friend said I need an internship. Where do I even find one? Well, first off, parents, I want to at least let y'all know, as freshmen here at the University of Utah or in universities in general, most freshmen, it's hard to find internships. So give your student a little bit of some slack, give them a little bit. But we can always find them, and that's our job here as the University of Utah as a career coach, is to help you find them. Now, I will always say go to Navigation 360. That's where you can find a lot of different things within that, but then also Handshake. That's something that you definitely will be going over. And Handshake is one of the biggest spots to find some of the internships that can fit freshmen, and also the experience-wise, they can kind of work with you on that. And then there's other stuff that we can always lean on too as well, like LinkedIn, and sometimes just word of mouth, knowing the right people. So that's the best thing I can give you when it comes to finding an internship. All right, next question, last question. All right, do I need to network, and what does that even mean? So exactly what I just was mentioning with the other question, LinkedIn. Networking is one of the biggest things that's going to get you to where you need to be. And I tell all my students this because as a retired NFL player, and I went to school here and played football here, it's a lot of who you know that can get you to where you need to be. But then on top of that, it has to be the person that's speaking for you. What are they saying when you're not around? So I always say the first impression is the most important. But when it comes to that networking, it's sometimes CFOs, CEOs, they be on LinkedIn, and you just have to talk to them and find out if you can try to crack in a little tea party or coffee or something where you can at least ask those questions, because we have something called informational interviewing. That's something that's so important for all our students, whether they're first year or they're seniors. It's about just finding out what it is that they do, why do they love it. Then on top of that, you can even ask how much money they make. So whatever you feel that's going to be good for you to get the information you need to know where your career is going. So that's where you can get your networking from. And once again, my name is Robert Johnson. They call me Rojo, and I am a career coach here. And in my office, we have about 20 to 30 different career coaches that fit exactly what a student's major is, and even the ones that's undeclared. We make sure to help them. So if there's ever anything we could do, please reach out to us and make sure to have fun here when you welcome to the University of Utah. Go Utes.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul Peterson with Housing and Dining Programs here at the University of Utah, and this is Questions with Quest. Allergens. Good word. Okay, I'm going to redo that. You ready? I'm ready. All right. First one here is, when is move-in and what is it like? Move-in is one of my favorite times of the year because of how exciting it is, and everyone is just coming back to campus full of energy and fun. What happens during move-in is you will be assigned a time based on your residence hall, your floor, and what building you're in. Please try and stick to your move-in time because that's really important, especially with our move-in partners and how that happens. But after move-in and once you're settled into your space, we have a ton of resources on campus that you can go check out with your folks. We have events all throughout the day and at night, so make sure you don't miss those. As well as dining is complimentary in both of our dining halls during move-in so that you guys can try the food out yourself. Next one is, what should I bring for my dorm? This is such a good question. I am under the premise that less is more. You can always buy more things throughout the year, but again, not knowing the full dimensions or exactly what room you're in or the size is really hard when you're trying to bring in a couch or things like that. So I recommend bringing as little as possible, the basics for what you need, and then you can fill those things up throughout the year. What we do have in our spaces is always a bed and a bed frame. We do have a desk and chair, and we do have some form of wardrobe for you as well to store all of your clothes. On top of that, everything else you can bring yourself. And do not bring a U-Haul, please, during move-in or a trailer. That just is the last thing you want to do. Please do not do that. All right, next. What if I don't get along with my roommate? This does happen on occasion. There's a lot of options for this, but during move-in, so the 2 weeks before move-in and the 2 weeks after move-in, we are on a freeze for all of the dorms. We do have to do occupancy verification, make sure everyone is in their space. But after that 2 weeks, we are hoping that you get to know your roommate a little bit better, and maybe some of those first initial jitters will get ironed out. But if that doesn't happen, we do have a process where you can talk with your resident director and see what available spaces there are on campus where we can move you to a new space. Okay. Next one and last one. Can I bring my car to the campus? The answer is yes, but fun fact, only about 1/3 of students that live on campus bring a vehicle. There's a lot of different options to get around besides just walking and biking. With your U-Card, you do get access to all of the public transportation that Utah and Salt Lake City has, including the bus system, TRAX, and Front Runner. But a lot of people really do just tend to bike, walk, or scooter around campus, and it's really fun to see that as well. Parking is limited, and you do have to pay to park, so keep that in mind as well. Not all residence halls have parking lots, so keep that in mind when you're looking at where to live. These are all dining questions, and the first one we have here is, how do dining plans work? So dining plans are selected later in the housing process after you have made your room selection. We have a ton of various options depending on what your needs are on campus, from 5 meals a week all the way up to 19 meals per week. And those can all be found on our housing and dining plan website. Next one. Looking here, what is the difference between meal swipes and dining dollars? Great question. So the difference between a meal swipe and dining dollars or flex dollars is you'll use a meal swipe at our 2 dining halls that we have on campus. One located in Calvert Village and one located in the Peterson Heritage Center on Upper Campus. But every plan comes with a certain amount of flex dollars that you can use all throughout campus at our various dining options. We have fast food chain concepts, we have various grocery stores, and we have various, like we call them C-stores, more like a convenience store that you can grab and go anything and use those dining dollars if you don't want a full meal or if you just need a Pop-Tart or a juice or some sushi. Next, what if I have a dietary restriction? This is actually a great question because a lot of students do have dietary restrictions. What you can do is talk with any of our chefs located in either of our dining halls, and you can talk to them of what those may be, whether it may be a gluten intolerance or you may have a certain allergen, but they are more than happy to talk to you and write that down to make sure that we meet your dietary needs. All right, and the last one here. Can I still buy food in the dining halls if I don't have a dining plan? Yes, you can. You can still eat in our dining halls if you want to eat with a friend that might have a dining plan. You would just pay for that out of your pocket. But we do have tons of options, dining options all over campus that you can use just like any grocery store or just like any food establishment. They're here for you, they're here for your parents, and they're here for all of our staff on campus. This has been Questions with Quest. If you have any additional questions, feel free to visit us in our Housing and Dining Program's main office, or you can always give us a call, and a housing ambassador is happy to answer any questions you might have.